Hello dear aspirants, this is 6th February newspaper and I am going to bring the must-read articles of 6th February 2025. This entire week from 1st February onwards has been very important. Economic survey, budget and the schemes related to it has been brought and the analysis of it, right? I am 𝐷𝙤𝙤𝙩𝙩, mentor from Prepp IAS, who is trying to make your newspaper reading effective and fast. Okay, so let's start with today's newspaper front page. Right, so every day US president is saying something very extreme and it's coming on the headline, and I think this is gonna be the case for coming 4 years. So he has said something very which will be difficult, which will make the difficult relationships of Israel-Palestine conflict even worse. Okay, so US president vows to take over and develop Gaza Strip after resettling Palestinians. Okay, so this comes under GS paper 2, effect of politics of developed countries like USA. Okay, so this can shatter the decades of US policy towards the Israel-Palestinian conflict. Let's move to the next article. Now this is a real problem between India and US. US aircraft lands in Amritsar with 100 deported Indians. So US has literally sent 100 illegal migrants from India that were there in USA, and they have sent it back through the C-17 wide-bodied aircraft, which is a military aircraft, which is being not seen very in a harmonious way, right? So it comes under GS paper 2, bilateral relations between India and USA. The deportation through a military aircraft drew attention, as this was the first time the US had carried out such a deportation with one of its biggest cargo aircraft. But US officials are saying this is that they are just trying to show how strong action they are going to take against illegal migrants. Let's move to the next article. A very nice and a goodwill gesture, where night school for 𝐿𝐵𝐴 women unlocks new opportunities. Okay, so 𝐿𝐵𝐴 is a community in Rajasthan, and to educate them, so they are trying to make a difference within the nomadic 𝐿𝐵𝐴 tribal community. So who is doing that? The Samta Night School, established in the nondescript Bharwai hamlet in Ajmer district, Kishangarh Tehsil, is imparting education through a community design curriculum which reflects the specific need and aspirations of 𝐿𝐵𝐴s. Okay, so the backward community, which is known for snake charming, folk songs and dances, which are integral part of their traditions. Okay, so women attend the school at night after completing their daily chores, and they learn Hindi, mathematics, practical life skills, and enjoy songs and games. So they are learning new things. Okay, so this school was launched last year by Manthan Sanstha, a grassroots voluntary organization based in Kotri village for pressing needs of the 𝐿𝐵𝐴 community. Right, so a very good example from GS, essay example, where people are doing so good for, the non-profits are doing so good for people, ethics example, and in GS2, NGOs participation in development, in community development of India. Let's move to the next article. So this is Madhya Pradesh CM releases 5 more cheetahs into the wild in Kuno National Park. So this comes under GS paper 3, conservation measures. Here and now that we are trying to conserve cheetahs. It was all done, the total population now has reached 26. Okay, earlier it was 6 to 8 more cheetahs are also being brought from South Africa, and a new home is going to be created for them in 𝐷𝙤𝙤𝙩 Wildlife Sanctuary in Mandsaur district in Madhya Pradesh. So these two districts, Shivpur, this Kuno National Park in Shivpur district in MP, and the second is 𝐷𝙤𝙤𝙩 Wildlife Sanctuary in Mandsaur district of the state. You should know about this. National parks. Let's move to the next article, or wildlife sanctuaries. So this article did not seem to be very giving constructive criticism about government's budget, so we'll skip this. Okay, so do not waste time reading this if it is not of use for your UPSC's answer. Not worth the risk. This talks about again the deportation of 100 youth done by US currently, right? So this talks GS paper 2, bilateral relations, and also concerns GS3, unemployment issues. So why these people are illegally migrating to USA? For better life, they are not getting better life here. Youths are not getting life of their dreams. So those issues are addressed here. US government has intensified its immigration and customs enforcement operation to identify, detain and deport individuals without proper documentation. It will become a bilateral flashpoint between India and US, and Indian government should take it responsibly, accept all the Indians, right, and prevent Indians from embarking on risky journey to cross into the US via Mexico and Canada. Okay, and that's why and they should make them understand that going illegally there will not give them a successful life. Also, educational campaigns should be there to tell them the underlying economic distress, deepening agriculture crisis, and central and state government should try to improve these things, okay? The economic issues of the country, agriculture crisis, social tension, employment shortage, so that the push factor is not so strong in India and people like to stay here, okay? Next article. This article is written by founder of Apollo Hospitals, right? Dr. Prepp IAS, a green signal for India to assert its health leadership. It comes under GS paper 2, issues related to health sector. Why have I taken this article? Because it has mentioned few recent schemes, budget that has launched, budget has launched some things for health sector that is mentioned here, which you can certainly use in the question related to health in the mains answer. So Union Budget 2025 lays a robust foundation for India to be, leadership in global healthcare, and they have allocated 90,958 crore healthcare allocation, 75,000 medical seats will be added in next 5 years. Investments in cancer daycare cancer centers have been done. Okay, so 200 daycare cancer centers have been set up, which is also very nice. And he's talking about an idea which is Heal in India, Heal by India initiative. Okay. So the custom duty exemption on 36 life-saving drugs for cancer, rare diseases and chronic condition will lower the cost of treatment. This is also very good initiative that government has taken. And he's also appreciating the artificial intelligence. The new national centers of excellence will spearhead innovation, AI in diagnostics, treatment and research, which will help India to develop cutting-edge technology in these areas also. Okay, so this much is sufficient. Let's move to the next article. Nothing important here from UPSC perspective, right? The rise of UPI digital payments. So you should know what is the status of digital payments in digital India, right? So digital payments increased more than 3.5 times in value between 2013 and 2024 in 9 years, okay? And in last 5 years, digital payments in India increased by 1.6 times in value. In last 5 years, 1.6 times in value it has increased and 6.7 times in volume as per the RBI's payment system report, okay? And it is mainly driven by UPI, okay, which consolidates multiple bank accounts into mobile interface. So UPI is the leading player in that. Let's move to the next article. So this is something new and important. What is the Supreme Court directive on sacred groves? You should know what is sacred groves, what are the names of local names of sacred groves. So this comes under GS paper 2, Supreme Court directives about a law, forest, here it being Forest, Tribal Rights, Forest Rights Act, Wildlife Protection Act, all these are concerned here, okay? So any law related issues are important for us, especially if judiciary's verdict is there. So in December 2024, the Supreme Court directed the Forest Department of Rajasthan to map ground and via satellite every sacred grove in detail, right? So after mapping, the court has directed the department to classify them as forest and notify them as community reserves under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Okay, so this decision would transfer the sacred groves from community protection to forest officials, okay? And according to the writer, this is not meeting the purpose of Forest Right Act 2006, the purpose of which was to recognize traditional and customary rights over all forest land and transfer them back from the Forest Department to Gram Sabhas. Okay, so here there is a fight between Supreme Court giving the sacred groves to Wildlife Protection Act to forest, and Forest Right Act giving those to the Gram Sabhas. Okay, so which one is right? So sacred groves of Rajasthan, you should know the names, local names: Orans, Malwan, Devghat, Bagh, and it is around 6 lakh hectares of the state, the area that groves are taking. Okay, and in recently in TN Godavarman versus Union of India, the Supreme Court ordered that forest land in Section 2 of Forest Conservation Act 1980, they have redefined or made the definition of forest more broad, as you know, any area recorded as forest in the government record irrespective of the ownership of the land. So they will be called forest regions. You should know a lot of names. India is estimated to have 1 to 10 lakh, around 10 lakh sacred groves of this nature. They are called Devara, Kadu in Karnataka, Dev 1 in Himachal, Kavu and Sarp Kavu in Kerala, Sarna in Chota Nagpur, Devvani in Chhattisgarh, Jahera and Thakuramma in Odisha, Devgudi by Muria and Maria tribes, and the Gond Adivasis of Maharashtra and Chhattisgarh, Keylong Lingdo, Keylong Kingtang, Keylong Niam in Meghalaya, Sabarkantha, Dahod or Bansa Kantha in Gujarat. So these kind of questions can come in prelims. What, this is called what? Sacred groves in which area, in which state this is called, okay? It has asked about the shifting cultivation also. What is the name of the shifting cultivation? So this sacred groves are very important for tribals. They are treated as temple, monasteries, shrines, pilgrims. It is their gathering, points for local healers, local legends, myths, beliefs. They all surround sacred groves, and communities have transmitted them orally, and they conserve it like it is important for their life, okay? So sacred groves are important point, and according to the article, Gram Sabha would have been the statutory authority to protect, regenerate and conserve or manage this, and that's it. And there will, I think, more articles will come about this, who will be the responsible authority for sacred groves. Let's move to the next article. Now, Western Ghats is a very beautiful part of India, Western Ghats, right? So, Biosphere Reserve. So, Western Ghats are a living archive of culture, memory and resilience. Why have I taken this article? This article doesn't talk anything specific, but a lot of novels are based on the story and, of nature and humans settled in the beauty and aesthetics of Western Ghats, okay? So, you can use those novels, their protagonist as an anecdote in your essay. Okay, that's why I've taken this. So Western Ghat is very important. Sahyadri, which means benevolent mountains, spans 6 states of India, right? World's most biodiverse region, but now is facing a lot of issues like climate change, land encroachment, displacement of tribal communities because of the modernization and industrialization. So based on these industrialization versus tribals' rights over, the pristine nature, a lot of novels have been written. One is Kochareti, the Arya woman, written by Narayan in Malayalam, right? It talks about exploitation and marginalization of the Adivasi community and how industrial development money lenders are trying to push them into extreme poverty and displacement. This other novel in Valli, written by Sheila Tomi in Malayalam in 2019, we learn of a tribal community's deep connection to the forest, okay? And how Valli's family were resisting communist, and others were, community resist and clinging to, and they were trying to conserve their heritage and traditions against the, people who were coming and encroaching their lands. So these stories can be very soulful in your essay. Okay, let's move to the next quiz. Very important quiz. It talks about right of women to vote, right? Very important. Okay, so so let's learn this. Okay, so on this day in 1918, Great Britain passed the Representation of People Act that allowed men over the age of 21 to vote, and the age for women that they had kept was 30 years. So men of 21 was equated to women of 30. Okay, so that was a little bias from their side. And since 1838, which island, which is UK's sole overseas territory in Pacific Ocean, has given women the right to vote, and it has continuously allowed women to vote for the longest duration in history. Very important and beautiful example, Pitcairn Islands. Okay, you should use it in the answer. Let's come to India. Name the first place in India that gave women the right to vote in 1920. They gave the right to vote, but not the right to stand in elections. That is Travancore in 1920. And which princely state first granted both rights to vote and run for office is Rajkot. Okay, and some countries are just opposite, like Saudi Arabia, where December 2015 municipal elections, the government allowed women to vote for the first time in its history. Imagine, they are doing it now. December 2015, women were also allowed to run for office, and this is thus the country soon acquired its first women politicians. Too late for Saudi Arabia, right? Now name the world's first major country to grant both women and men the right to vote at the same time and on equal terms. So this is no European country or the American country. It is an Asian country, Thailand, right? So these are some examples that you can use in your essay. Let's move to the next article. So small articles. Okay, government warns officials against using AI tools due to security risk. So this comes under GS paper 2, challenges of e-governance or AI governance. So here Ministry of Finance has strictly asked officials to strictly avoid AI like ChatGPT and DeepSeek, which is of China, and because it poses risk to the confidentiality of government data and documents and can hamper internal security issues also. Okay, so this is one of the issues they face in using AI in governance. Okay, because most of the AI companies are from outside, and once you use it in governance, they'll get all the data, which will be hampering our sovereignty and unity. So one of the challenges of AI in governance. Let's move to the next article. This comes under in the internal security. Narcotics network backing infiltrators in J&K, says our Union Home Minister, and he directs all security agencies to step up fight against terrorism by aiming for zero infiltration goal and uproot the existence of territory. So this narcotics network, those who provide these drugs and all, they gain money from that, they earn money from that, and that they use it to provide support to infiltrators and terrorists, and we need to take very strong actions against it. This comes under GS paper 3, internal security and the management in border areas. And he has asked to make fresh appointment to the post at the Forensic Science Laboratory in view of the timely implementation of the new criminal laws. Okay, so you need to keep this drug and narcotics and terrorist connection in internal security question. Let's move to the next article. So this article I have taken from Prelims point of view. West Asia crisis must not be allowed to undermine 𝐼MAC. Prelims fact. What is 𝐼MAC? So 𝐼MAC is India Middle East Economic Corridor. It will connect India to Europe via UAE, Saudi Arab, Israel and Greece. Okay, so it's a very important thing, and it was launched on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Delhi. Okay, so in India Middle East Europe Economic Corridor, here this Greece foreign official is calling it Project for Peace, and it has come to a halt because of the Gaza conflict that is going on with Palestinian and Israel. But some important prelims fact that I would like to tell you, that some ports that are associated in this project is Greece Piraeus port, okay, Italy's Messina port, France Marseille port. Okay, so Piraeus port is in Greece, Messina port is in Italy, Marseille port is in France, Mundra port is in Gujarat, India, that you all know, and Haifa port is in Israel. So if it comes in prelim, which port is where, you should know. Okay, let's move to the next article. I think, so this is also a prelims fact which you should know basic. Army's Fort William in Kolkata said to be known as 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐻. So Fort William in Kolkata, which is the headquarters of Eastern Army Command, will be renamed as 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐻, and Kitchener House inside it will be renamed as Manekshaw House. Okay, and South Gate as St. George Gate is now Shivaji Gate. So Fort William, named after King William III of England, was constructed by British in 1781. Okay, before the revolt of 1857. So 𝐿𝐵𝐺𝐻 is derived from the oldest fort along the, it is derived from the base of the Marathas under Chhatrapati Shivaji. So this new name structure you should have a basic idea about. Let's move to the next, last article, last page, science page. Okay, so let's discuss here. So question for the AI age, do machines and humans learn the same way? So they are comparing how AI intelligence is being developed and how human intelligence has been evolved throughout the years. So in some things human intelligence is better, and in few things AI intelligence is better. Okay, so they are telling machines excel at things that are nearly impossible for most humans, including rapidly analyzing large data sets and predicting complex patterns. Yet machines struggle with smallest tasks that even human children find easy, like understanding of motives and all, right? So it's not the same. And the age of artificial intelligence promises to be a time in which scientists will learn a lot about human brain. Existing AI models are inspired mostly of the brain of animals. Human brain makes decisions stunningly fast using abstractions and generalizations that AI learning cannot do. Okay, so if a human has understood how to play chess very well, so when he'll play checkers, he'll know, okay, this is the same kind of game and I can apply similar rules. AI cannot do that. Even if they are master players in chess, they'll have to learn another game from scratch. Okay, so this common sense is not there in AI, right? And machines struggle to do this. That's what they're talking about it, right? And the way humans learn as a children, we are very curious to know, so we are trying to know things. Whereas AI is just working what information we are feeding to it. Whereas our children are trying to seek information of all types, okay? So that makes them sometimes, on most of the cases, more intelligent. So this is kind of, this will be useful in an essay where intelligence, AI intelligence versus human intelligence can come in essay, okay? So the last article of the day, an asteroid might hit Earth. How worried should we be? So this is happening. This comes under GS paper 3, awareness in the field of space. A newly detected asteroid nearly the size of a football field now has a greater than 1% chance of colliding with the Earth in about 8 years. Okay, and it can lead to city level devastation depending where it strikes. So this is dubbed as, it's named as 2024 YR4. The asteroid name is 2024 YR4, which was first spotted in December 2024 in an observatory in Chile. Okay, so it has earlier also, there are similar things have happened. The most infamous asteroid impact occurred 66 million years ago when a 9-kilometer wide space rock triggered, which is bigger than this one, a global winter, wiping out the dinosaurs and 75% of all species, okay? And similar event in 1900, Tunguska event happened with 30 to 50 meters exploded over Siberia, flattening so many trees and area, okay? So that's it for 6th February. Thank you.